At Pan-African, we seek to be the gold investment of choice for all of our stakeholders, including our shareholders, staff, communities, and the regulators and governments in the areas in which we operate. We also have a well-established, successful track record of operating in South Africa, and we will continue to build on that track record and take advantage of opportunities. In terms of our people, we use more than 4,000 people and also our contractors, and we work together to extract the maximum amount of gold, and we endeavour to do so safely and sustainably. We generally have multi-year wage agreements in place, and we focus on constantly building relationships with employees and with the unions that represent our employees. I am saddened by the loss of one of our Evander employees in a mine accident last week. We will commence wage negotiations at our Barberton operation later this year, and we look forward to engaging with employees in a constructive manner to finalise a mutually beneficial and multi-year agreement. We sweat our assets and our infrastructure. To replicate our infrastructure today would be at a cost of tens of billions of rands. Our infrastructure and our old workings allow us to pursue opportunities such as the Ilukulu Tailings Project, which we are very excited about and which will be a game changer for Evander. Pan-African also constantly seek opportunities in value accretive growth, such as the Shanduka Gold transaction and also the Uitkoms transaction, which we concluded last year. These transactions have added materially to the bottom line in the period under review. We balance this growth with a sector-leading dividend also. I have to say that, as we know, for an underground mining business, most of our costs are fixed, with more than 50% of costs relating to employee expenses. It is therefore simple maths that the more gold we produce, the lower our unit cost of production. Unfortunately, the inverse also holds true. Gold production from underground operations for the first half of this financial year was not up to Pan-African's normal standard, and this impacted adversely on costs and cost escalations. If we move on to the tailings business, our tailings business once again shot the lights out. I have to say, we increased gold sold from this operational business by 40% in the period under review. The tailings business has grown in importance for Pan-African and will continue to do so in future. It is with deep regret that I report that post our interim period, on the 15th of February 2017, we lost a colleague, Mr. Vilile Kapa, in a mine accident at Evander. Mr. Kapa was preparing a bag of gold-bearing material for hoisting to surface when he sustained a fatal head injury, which was related to an ingress of water into the shaft from the failure in the main pump column. This is on 7 shaft. We express our sincere condolences to the family of Mr. Kapa and also to all of those who knew him and worked with him. I have to say, this is the third of our group employees that we've lost since I've presided as CEO, and I certainly hope that it will be the last. In terms of our safety performance, I have to say we've improved on most metrics. The improvement is even more pronounced when we look at a 3 to 5 year period. And I again have to commend Phoenix Platinum staff and also the manager, Burton McLeod. This operation has not reported a lost time or reportable injury from when commencing productions, which is more than 5 years ago. Just again speaks to the safety issue, underground versus surface operations, and why we're so keen on boosting and increasing our surface footprint from a production perspective. Now, our current safety record is still not good enough. About 2 months ago, after an increase in accident rates, I tasked senior management at Evander to engage with each and every employee individually in order to ensure that all of us understood the importance of working safely. If we look at the majority of our accidents, these occur when people deviate from established and documented policies and procedures, or when they lose concentration or focus when engaged in a potentially dangerous activity. We therefore have to continue to instill personal responsibility for one's own safety and also for that of your colleagues and fellow employees and all of our people. All of the employees in our group are empowered to issue internal stop notices similar to the DMR Section 55 notices in any instance where they deem the working conditions to be unsafe. We internally track and also investigate any of these stop notices. My commitment to you today is that I will personally meet and engage with each group employee in terms of safety before we present our final year-end results. So before we take questions, I'd just like to conclude this presentation with for the summary of Pan African's outlook for the remainder of the financial year, we have to continue to focus on safety and compliance across all of our operations. It's critical now that we resume underground mining operations at Evander, and that's something we keep in tabs on a daily basis. Again, we have to improve the operating performance of both Evander and also the Barberton underground, which is well on track to exceed first half production. We have to continue to work on our stakeholder relations. We got a very nice letter yesterday from the Department of Mineral Resources at Barberton to say that our social and labour plan had been approved and thanking us for all the good work that we do in that Barberton area. I've spoken about the Evander 7 shaft. Ilakulu is near-term growth for our group, and we have to really get started in getting that project off the ground. We look forward to presenting results from the 2010 pay channel at Evander. Outcomes will continue to focus on sustainable production and generating cash flow for the group. And then, as I've said, the Phoenix aims to improve and capitalise on increased production in the next half.
Martin Creamer from Mining Weekly Online. Just before I left the office, the National Union of Mineworkers came through with a statement saying that 2 of their people had been badly dealt with in relation to safety. They had indicated that areas were unsafe, but that no cognizance was taken of that. And I see they're also going to have memorial service for the person who was killed on February the 15th. So I just want a clarification, were these people unfairly treated, as is being alleged in this release that they put out this morning?
Thanks, Martin. I was actually hoping that somebody would ask it. Our books are open to everybody, and the statement from the union is blatantly false. I will not say it in another way. There was an individual that was subject to a disciplinary process, but that was not as a result of safety concerns. It was as a result of inappropriate behaviour. So all of that's well documented, and we're happy to make those records available. That being said, we have what we believe to be a good relationship with our union. We require that relationship for us to operate sustainably. And from our side, we'll continue to make sure we have that relationship. In terms of working unsafe, I've said that any employee at any of our operations have a right to stop an operation or a work area where they feel it to be unsafe. And our books are open as far as these internal stop notices are concerned. And I'll close it off by saying that on Thursday of last week, well, before we had the fatal accident, I myself was at the shaft bottom, and I did not feel unsafe at all. It's a tragic accident. We hope and we pray that one will not be repeated, and we really feel for the family and employees. But again, Pan African's philosophy is not to operate unsafely, and we take exception when people accuse us of doing so.